Alert day conditions will continue through at least Tuesday evening for hot temperatures. But what are our chances for severe weather over the next 48 hours? I have the answer.
Plus, several members of the Reedsburg High School football team are now facing charges. The new information released after an incident that caused the district to cancel the first two games. And later, time could be running out for a longtime Madison restaurant as staff decides the future of the Essen House. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. High temperatures and humidity are creating uncomfortable conditions for many throughout southern Wisconsin today. Thanks for joining us. These conditions will likely continue for at least another day or so, but maybe turn into some severe storms later on. For more on this, let's check the first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex,
Eric, southern Wisconsin, you probably can count on one hand how many times you've seen me out here in the patio without a tie on. In fact, I think it's zero. It is extremely warm and extremely humid across southern Wisconsin and very, very uncomfortable conditions. Most of the time out here in the patio, there's at least a breeze. We don't even have that out here right now. Alert day conditions expected to continue for all of southern Wisconsin through at least Tuesday evening for the hot temperatures. There's also a threat for severe weather. Right now, current temperatures, this is the actual temperature that the thermometer reads, 93 in Madison, and that is common across all of Dane County. We have 95 in the Wisconsin River Valley, even 96 to the west in Prairie du Chien, 93 in Janesville, and 95 to the north in the Dells, and 93 a little bit further to the north on the interstate there in Camp Douglas. But it's when you add the humidity. The feels like factor is 106 right now in Madison. It feels like 113 in the Wisconsin River Valley, 105 in Janesville, and 110 degrees. The feels like factor. Dangerously hot conditions across southern Wisconsin, up in the Wisconsin Dells area as we speak right now. We have excessive heat warnings lasting into Tuesday for much of southern Wisconsin. We will repeat this very likely again. We have a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather tonight as well for southern Wisconsin. And let's take a look at radar 3000. There's nothing out there right now. We're keeping an eye on the potential, and this is a small potential for a couple thunderstorms coming out of Minnesota into the northern parts of our viewing area as we head a little bit later into the evening hours. But that chance is not very likely and not widespread. We'll look a little bit more into the severe weather threats for later tonight and then again for Tuesday. We're planning our evening in Madison. Very muggy, very uncomfortable temperatures in the 80s with those heat index values staying well into the 90s. When do we end the heat and what are those chances of severe weather? I'll talk all about that in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. And if you're looking to beat the heat, the city of Middleton is offering several cooling centers to the public. They include at the police department, City Hall, and Senior Center, all on Hubbard Avenue. City Hall and the Senior Center are open from 8 to 4, while the police department is open 24 hours. And you can stay up to date on the weather with our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecast, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. Now to an update out of Baraboo. A police officer has resigned. 2 others are still on the force following an investigation into the distribution of cocaine. According to a release by the Baraboo Police Department, the 2 that are staying on were found to have not committed any criminal wrongdoing. Meanwhile, Derek Birch resigned from the department prior to the completion of the department's internal investigation, and that stems from the arrest of William Deppy. The Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigation is continuing its own probe into what happened. A resident at the Dane County Jail was found dead this morning. Dane County Sheriff's deputies and jail medical staff responded to an intake housing unit in the public safety building portion of the jail for a resident discovered unresponsive. They immediately started life-saving efforts, but revival was unsuccessful. That death remains under investigation. Now to a developing story. Members of the Reedsburg Area High School charged with disorderly conduct toward members of the Amish community there. Tanisha Shaw live outside the school in Tanisha. I understand we just learned their ages.
Yep, we did. The suspects are ages 15 to 17. That's from Sauk County Sheriff. And they say some of them are a part of Reedsburg's football team. That's right where I am. Here is what we know. On August 11th, Sauk County Sheriff responded to reports of threats towards Amish people. Then about a week later, Reedsburg High School announced they're canceling the first 2 games of their football seasons because of what they say is an investigation and safety. Earlier today, I got the chance to speak to residents who said they're praying for everyone involved.
We're sorry about, the families that were involved, that they got hurt too. So we're supportive of this community and what will happen to bring retribution. So yeah.
And so we want to pray for healing.
Yeah, healing
for everybody.
As a mother, I feel
sad for the parents and for the students that are going through it. I hope they learn from their mistakes. I mean, I made my mistakes when I was a kid, so I mean, it's only growing from here, because if you keep continuing the same mistakes, you're going to make the most poor choices for the rest of your life.
Again, I've been speaking with Sauk County Sheriff, and he said that there aren't any reports of any damages or fires, and that he will not release the names of the suspects. Reporting in Reedsburg, News 3 Now, Tanasia Shaw.
Tanasia, thank you. A Dodgeville man has died after being stuck underneath a skid steer for several hours. The man, identified as 63-year-old Randy Cox, passed away at UW Hospital last night. He was operating the skid steer on a slope when it rolled multiple times, throwing him off before landing on top of him. He was stuck for about 3 hours before being located. The Iowa County Coroner's Office is now assisting the Iowa County Sheriff's Office in this investigation. And a man loses his life in a weekend motorcycle crash in Jefferson County. It happened Saturday on County Trunk H in the town of Palmyra. The motorcycle was coming out of a curve near Pine Drive when it left the road and struck a culvert. The driver of the motorcycle was thrown from the bike. They were the only person on that vehicle and pronounced dead at the scene. In Madison, a driver was arrested for OWI in the city's north side this morning after they allegedly rear-ended a squad car. Police say the incident occurred near the intersection of Packers at Schlimgen Avenue, where the squad car was struck from behind. Police say the driver showed signs of intoxication and was arrested for OWI third offense. No injuries were reported. Well, you still have until this Saturday to grab a final bite or brew over at Madison's Essen House restaurant, maybe a boot or two. Its future is in limbo, according to members of the German restaurant staff who spoke to News 3 Now today. They say they had a closed-door meeting to discuss the sale of Essen House and come back in. Staff say the restaurant is still planned to close on Saturday, but depending on how the sale goes, they could reopen in just a couple weeks. Looking ahead, the Trump campaign casting doubt on its proposed September debate with Democratic nominee Vice President Kamala Harris. Today, the former president said he would rather have the microphone stay on for both candidates during the September 10th debate. This is the opposite of what his staff had asked for, requesting that candidates' microphones be muted as they were during the debate with President Biden. The Harris campaign has also requested that the microphones stay on throughout the debate. The rules for the debate have not yet been finalized. Meanwhile, presidential nominee Kamala Harris raised $82 million during last week's Democratic National Convention. So far, she has raised $540 million for her run. According to the Harris campaign, the hour after her convention speech was their biggest moneymaker. 2/3 of Harris's first-time donors have been women. Vice President Harris reported $204 million to the Federal Election Commission back in July. Former President Trump plans to return to Wisconsin on Thursday to hold a town hall discussion that'll happen in La Crosse. And there he will listen to the concerns of voters and share what he calls his plan to make America affordable again. This is Donald Trump's first visit to Wisconsin since July, when he accepted the presidential nomination at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. And Trump's running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, will be in Wisconsin once again on Wednesday. Vance is scheduled to speak in De Pere at about 6:30 at the Amerilux family of companies building. There, he will talk about the economy as well as inflation and energy. It'll be J.D. Vance's fourth visit to Wisconsin just this month alone. And coming up on News 3 Now at 6, the numbers for our back-to-school drive are in. How many students you were able to help out this year? We'll show you those numbers. Plus, the fall season almost here, and that includes certain pesky allergies as well. How you can keep the itching and sneezing to a minimum. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Drive into summer with the rugged Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot. Summer is for exploring, so get outdoors, kick up some dust, get muddy, or just find that perfect campsite. All from Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So act now to get an offer you'll love. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer event.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The alarming spike in inflation soaring to its highest level in nearly 40 years.
That is called Bidenomics.
Gas prices rose again today, reaching a new all-time high.
We're still dealing with inflation, and we've got super high interest rates at the same time.
Bidenomics is working.
2/3 of Americans are just struggling to make ends meet.
And this comes after Friday's jobs report showing a spike in unemployment.
And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Your bedroom should be an oasis of relaxation, but also a space to re-energize for the day ahead. BDI has reinvented what bedroom furniture can be. The Link Bedroom Collection is designed for today's connected lifestyle, offering innovative features that astound at every turn. And it's on sale now through September 9th. See Link at the Century House on University Avenue in Madison or online at centuryhouseinc.com. Visit today and create the bedroom of your dreams.
News 3 Now is focusing on the issues and the races that matter where you live, with 3 for the people.
Talking with local candidates, looking at both sides of the issues, and fact-checking it all, so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6, moving forward.
Students in the Madison area are gearing up to go back to school over the next week, and we have some good news to share. The numbers are in, and we are deeming this year's back-to-school drive yet another success. Of course, we couldn't have done it without your generous support at home. Our News 3 Now viewers, we're proud to say that we helped more than 900 students across Dane County get the school supplies they need ahead of their first day back this fall. Some estimated numbers of items we got include more than 600 backpacks, 1,300 notebooks, and 1,100 folders. Again, thanks to all of you for making this a success. While it is the last week in August, and as many start to look forward to cooler days, you may also be dreading the runny nose, sneezing, and itchy, watery eyes that many face this time of the year. And allergists say ragweed is one of the biggest allergy culprits this time of the year. If you're sensitive to it, you can start to expect symptoms to start around Labor Day and linger into the first cold days of winter. But you can protect yourself. Start by keeping the windows closed.
It is really tempting to keep the windows open because there's a cool fall breeze, but that's actually what carries in the allergens.
And keep those much-loved pets out of your bedroom. Other ways to help prevent symptoms: watch the pollen count, stay indoors on dry, windy days when allergens are more likely to be in the air, shower to wash off pollen after you're outside. Consider starting nasal sprays before the symptoms start, and antihistamines once they begin. Still ahead, we're not the only ones that need to be cautious with today's heat. After the break, what farmers are doing to keep their animals safe from these scorching temperatures. And how long will the heat stick around? Alex has the answer, his complete forecast, when we come back.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no-interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year, so visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
It's only paint. It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that can cover the brightest shade of orange known to mankind in just one coat. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically. Paint.
Chain link is out and aluminum is in this season. These aluminum fences are not only beautiful and durable, but backed by a lifetime warranty too. Act fast! Revamp is offering $1,000 off a qualified purchase plus a free single gate. Scan the code, check us out online, or give us a call for your free quote today.
My day is packed. Client meetings.
Patient rounds.
Getting kids out the door.
But Eric Hovde thinks all women care about is Hollywood.
It's just deplorable. Sadly, with, females, they spend too much time focused on what's going on in Hollywood.
Well, guess what, Eric Hovde?
We know you supported overturning Roe versus Wade.
And we know you'd vote for a national abortion ban, too.
Eric Hovde must think he knows better than us.
What is wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health, know how much you matter to this world.
Our phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic, don't you think? Oh, I love this song so much.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
It is warm out there today, and for those who can't escape the heat, it can make for a long one. Our Jalen Banks joins us live now on what you can do to keep your outside animals cool in this weather. Jalen?
Good evening, Eric, and everyone at home. Anyone that's been outside today can certainly attest to the fact that it's pretty toasty out, but fortunately for most of us, we can take not only ourselves, but our furry friends with us. But what do you do if you can't bring in some of those non-traditional household pets? Take a look. The sun is out, reaching temps 90 plus on Monday. For most of us, we can take ourselves along with our cats and dogs inside.
Anytime you have extremes of weather, just like people, animals, suffer.
What if you have, say, goats or chickens that simply can't just go inside? So I caught up with a local farmer, Deborah Keller, to get some tips.
I think we're fortunate that we've got a lot of shade around, but if you do see them in distress, you got to get them out of the sun. And if you don't have shade, put some kind of tarp up or something that just covers them from the heat. And as I said, if you spray the ground, that kind of helps them stay a little cool as well. Yeah, there you go. Just keeps them entertained, gives them a little climbing. You saw the wall coming up too. They like to climb on the wall.
Along with keeping them hydrated with water and veggies, Keller has made installments to the barn for proper airflow for the animals.
Indoor, so at night we can shut them in. And so they're still protected from any predators.
Right.
But they get the airflow.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can you open it real quick?
Yep.
Boom. Look at that. And Keller says the most important tip is always remembering the responsibility you have to your animals.
You just worry about it a little bit more. Obviously, it's a responsibility. You've got these animals, and so you do watch the weather a little bit more, and, whether it's a really cold spell coming in or a heat spell, and then you just make sure you have everything ready for them.
As a reminder, and I'm sure Alex will remind you guys once again, please stay hydrated, please stay safe, and real quick, if you guys didn't put 2 to 2 together and notice the last name, that was our very own Blaze Keller's mother. So thank you, Mama Blaze, and Blaze himself for letting us go out to the family farm. For now, reporting in Fitchburg, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Now I know another reason why she watches the weather. Jalen, thank you. Well, heat-related deaths in the U.S. have been steadily increasing for years now, and a new study in the medical journal JAMA shows a 117% spike from 1999 to 2023. More than 21,000 people died in that time frame, with a disproportionate number of those deaths recorded in the states of California, Arizona, Nevada, and in Texas. According to the World Meteorological Organization, extreme heat is the #1 weather-related killer in the United States. This study comes as more than 50 million people are under heat alerts today, mainly here across the Midwest, and that includes, of course, southern Wisconsin. For more on this dangerous heat, here's Alex. He has the complete forecast.
Thanks, Eric. The impact to humans here, this is where we're at right now. We're in that 105 to 110 range, and that makes the potential for heat exhaustion quite likely and heat stroke possible. This lasts through Tuesday evening. Thoughts go out to folks like, we were just looking at Blaze's mom, farmers out there, construction workers, roofers, just to name a couple of occupations that have to deal with this extreme heat outside. So we're lucky inside here in the studio where it's a bit on the cooler side. You also may be wondering, where is all this humidity coming from? A lot of our humidity comes from the Gulf of Mexico, but look at over the upper Midwest. In fact, Madison's dew point right now, 76 degrees, is one of the highest dew points, one of the highest measures of moisture anywhere in the nation. And a lot of that, believe it or not, comes from our plants, from our crops. It's called evapotranspiration. We have plenty of crops in southern Wisconsin. We know that. The combo of the heat and the dew point, that makes the feels like factor. It feels like 106 in Madison, feels like a dangerous 113 right now in Bosqueville and 110 in the Dells, and even over portions of the prairies in northeastern Iowa. Those heat index values are even higher. Excessive heat warnings across all of southern Wisconsin really lasting into Tuesday. So this dangerous weather, the combination of the hot temperatures, the severe weather, lasting through at least Tuesday evening. What about the severe weather part? Well, radar 3000, high and dry right now. Let's take a little trip off to the north and towards the west, where we have severe thunderstorm watches on the northern bubble, the northern portion of this heat. We have thunderstorms breaking out just south and west of Minneapolis. And our future track model wants to sneak some of these thunderstorms into Juneau and Adams counties as we head a little bit later into the evening hours. And we'll be keeping an eye on that. Some weather models are showing this. Other weather models are showing that we stay dry across southern Wisconsin, but the best chances would be north of Madison if those storms can hold together, and that's why the Storm Prediction Center has a level 2 out of 5 risk, a slight risk of severe weather for all of southern Wisconsin. We'll be keeping an eye on that, and Jacob will be here, and I'll be keeping an eye on it too this evening. Another threat for severe weather is a weak cold front moves into this really oppressive, warm and hot and humid air mass. Plenty of energy out there for storms. Starting off Tuesday morning, mid-70s to right around 80, keeping an eye off to the west as this cold front comes in from the north and west. If we get clouds and more thunderstorm activity, our high temperatures might be a little bit lower, and that's something we'll be keeping an eye on. This cold front bringing thunderstorm chances a little bit higher as we go Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening, quickly racing across southern Wisconsin, and then some cooler, at least slightly cooler temperatures will start to move in to the area. Main risks for severe weather, wind and hail when we have all this humidity, all this energy out there. With the lack of winds higher up, these are usually our primary severe weather threats. So, slight chance of a storm tonight, especially north of Madison as we do a recap here. Morning clouds, could see a couple thunderstorms. That could lower temperatures Tuesday, which would be a good thing. But that possible severe weather threat is something we'll be also keeping an eye on as well. Following our alert day Tuesday, Wednesday, a warm and somewhat of a humid day. Showers and thunderstorms building in on Thursday, and behind that weather system, that transitions us to a nice, quiet period ahead. Just like the weather that we were seeing earlier, we'll go back to 70s by day and 50s by night. We just got to get through tomorrow.
And still to come in sports, Wisconsin football opens their season on Friday, but will do it without one of their senior leaders. We've got that and more coming up in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Drugs, gangs, and crime are flooding into our communities. But instead of getting tough on the border, Senator Tammy Baldwin supported amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants, including convicted criminals. Criminals like an illegal immigrant with multiple DUI charges who went on to kill a Wisconsin father of 3 while driving drunk again. Tell Senator Tammy Baldwin no amnesty for illegal immigrants, especially criminals. Vote to secure the border.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
This Labor Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our starter price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
We would never hit 12 drunk.
Clutch it up. Drunk? Not a chance. Do a stoppie? Drunk?
We would never drift drunk. So you should never drive drunk. Drive sober or get pulled over.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I was 27 years old, and the doctor told me I have MS. You quickly realize what's the most important things in life: family, friendships, love, helping other people. it makes you much more empathetic and compassionate to those that are struggling and suffering. I wanted to achieve my goals and dreams, but I wanted to take my resources and save as many children as I possibly could.
It is officially game week. 2 words Wisconsin football has been waiting to hear since they last played on New Year's Day. According to Luke Fickell, while that near 9-month buildup is long, this week is the longest of the year. All of the work they put in between spring practice, off-season lifting, fall camp, you name it, it culminates to this moment and the ability to finally test themselves out against an opponent.
Week 1 in college football is different than any other sport, I think, out there. Why? Because we have no real preseason game. We have no scrimmage, right? It's probably the only sport out there, the high-level sport, that you don't have some idea, some type of scrimmage, some type of competition with another group that you can, get a little bit of a better idea of where you are and how you do things and how you handle things. So it's always week 1 is a long week. When school's not in, it's even a longer week. So Friday can't get here fast enough.
But some of that excitement for Friday was tempered early this week, and this morning Fickell confirmed the worst, announcing that one of his senior leaders, James Thompson Jr., had surgery to repair his torn pectoral muscle, and that'll likely end his season before it began.
It's a big loss. It's tough. And, a guy in his senior year that has been through so many things and has meant so much to us. I mean, obviously over his time here, but even in this off season, and our ability to continue to grow and do the things we want to do and, kind of really, put guys in leadership roles, and he's done an unbelievable job.
Tonight kicks off the 2nd season of the Wisconsin Huddle, our 30-minute weekly sports show hosted by sports director Zach Hanley. Each week, he sits down with the Badgers' best players. That begins with the star running back, Ches Malusi. It is taped live every Monday and begins, the first episode does, just here in a few minutes at Buck and Honey's. It'll air on Friday.
Let's go to Alex, final check of the forecast.
We just need to get through 24 hours, southern Wisconsin, I promise. Alert day conditions through Tuesday evening for the combination of hot temperatures and the potential for severe thunderstorms. Excessive heat warnings lasting into Tuesday, and we'll be keeping an eye on the threat for thunderstorms later tonight and then again tomorrow night as well.
All right, Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Have a great evening. We'll be back here tonight for News 3 Now at 10.